And we're now recording. So once again, welcome to Senior Enlisted Academy's Class 08, Class Convocation. Again, my name's Adan Castillo, Senior Chief Type, and I go by AC. So we'll get started. So tonight, I'll be showing you how to navigate Blackboard. We'll take a look at some of the major assignments that you'll be required to complete throughout the Blackboard course. And I'll show you how to get to those assignments and just cover a couple little tidbits of some of them. We'll also talk about the discussion board posts that you'll be required to do weekly. Those discussion board posts are graded not by your primary military faculty advisor, but the contractor faculty advisor, again, of which Ms. Lorna Dela Cruz is in attendance tonight. I'll be talking about some of the keys to success and then some general overall good to know information about the Blackboard portion of your Senior Enlisted Academy course and some other things for in residence. So like I mentioned before we start recording, tonight I'll be going off of the PowerPoint, but I'll also be showing you Blackboard. I'll be sharing my screen with you and showing you how to navigate it. Hopefully get a better understanding of it when all this is said and done. So navigating Blackboard, things that we'll cover is the announcements, assignments, schedule, quizzes and exams, resources, and how to pull up your grades throughout the course. All right, so those are the things that we'll cover, and I'll now share my screen with you. So when you log into Blackboard, you'll come up to your group page, and on my screen, you're going to see a couple extra tabs that faculty advisors have access to. So you won't see all the tabs on the left on your screen right off the back, but for the most part, it should all be pretty similar. So we'll start with the announcements. On the left-hand side, you'll see an announcement tab, and by click on that, you'll see all the announcements that have been sent out to the entire class by somebody at the Senior Enlisted Academy, one of the faculty advisors or one of the staff. And it's all information that's relevant to the class, informing you of upcoming events, changes, or general good to know information that you're going to need throughout the course. And I'd like to send a shout out real quick to Zach Montello. He's the lead faculty advisor. He's just joined us for the webinar. So welcome, Zach.
Thanks, AC. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, I had to call in via phone and you couldn't hear me. I'm online now, so thank you.
Easy day. All right, so back to it. So the announcements are here. So if you didn't see it already, there was an announcement that I sent out on June 19th about this class convocation, this webinar, and all the information is posted there. The announcement that the course was now open to class 208 came on that as well. And then the first welcome aboard message that was sent out informing you that you were part of class 208. Other announcements that you can expect to see throughout the course are things reminding you about the group color T-shirts that you are able to purchase as a group for events once you're in residence, changes to the schedule, and again, just overall general good to know information. On the note of announcements and notifications, there is a Blackboard app available for download to your smartphone. On an iPhone, you can get it at the App Store. Not very familiar with Androids, but I have been told that the app is available for Androids as well. But just search the Blackboard app and then look for the Navy War College one, download it, sign up for it, and you'll have it on your phone. It's not extremely user friendly. It's not very good for completing assignments, but if you turn on your notifications, it will notify you anytime an announcement pops up. And as a faculty advisor and even as a student when I came through a year ago, that aspect of it, that option, the notification was extremely useful because I was able to be alerted of, last minute changes to the schedule and things of the sort. So if you're able to, highly recommend you search for that app and see what it can do for you. All right, so that's the announcements. Moving on to assignments. Um, should Every week you'll have assignments to complete, as I'm sure you're aware of. So to access those, you're going to go to weekly lessons. Uh, Click on that, and that's going to take you to a week by week breakdown of all the assignments that you're going to have to complete throughout the 9 weeks of the uh, web-based portion of your class. So we'll take a look at week one, which is where we're at now. All right, so everything that needs to be completed is on week one. All right, you got a checklist right there. And then if you look at the bottom, the last thing on that checklist is a PDF file that you can print out, carry with you, combine to one single document, and you can have it as a checklist, and hopefully ensuring that you don't miss a single thing for the week, so that you don't fall behind at all. Okay, so everything is right there. Um, all right, that's the checklist. Scrolling down, for everything that we ask you to do, all the work that you're required to do, we're going to provide you all the reading material that is required of you to read. So everything is hyperlinked. So if we ask you to read it, we're going to provide it to you. So there's no need to go out and purchase any materials or anything of the sorts. Everything is provided for you, and you can pull it up and use it as you see fit. Oh, sorry for that. Okay. Uh, and yeah, that's your weekly lessons. And again, there is something on every week, and it's formatted the exact same way. All the required material will be provided for you and available for you to utilize. Okay. Onto the schedule. On the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see the class schedule. And I am looking at it from an FA's view. So I'll turn it over to a more appropriate view that you'll see. So this is now more realistic to what you'll actually see when you log on. So on the left-hand side, you'll have a calendar that you can click on, and it'll be populated monthly, or however you want to set it up, with everything that's due. So as you can see tonight, for the 21st of June, this webinar, this convocation is already uploaded for you. Okay. And that is again right there. Click over to July, and you have everything that's due right there. Okay, so back to this week. Notice that your day one of this course is right there on the 19th of June. Major event, tonight's webinar is uploaded there. Next major event is the acknowledgments due this week. Okay, so again, feel free to add things to it on your own account and utilize it to help you keep track of the events. On to quizzes and exams. You'll be taking 2 quizzes while on Blackboard. Your first one is a feedback only quiz. Your second one is for a grade. So both quizzes go live the week that they are due, and they shut down at the expiration of the quiz. So if you do not take the quiz by the due date and time specified in the course syllabus in the class schedule calendar, then the quiz will be locked out, and you will not be able to take it, at which point your faculty advisor will give you further guidance on that. But the quizzes will be there on that tab. Resources. Writing resources, this tab on the left-hand side will provide you many extremely useful resources to utilize while drafting the multiple essays you'll have to write during the 9 weeks course. It'll help give you things to help you master the APA style, multiple documents on 3-part comms that'll help you form your outlines, how to check your 3-part how to check your essay to ensure that you've met all the 3-part COM requirements. So this 3-part communications troubleshooting guide is extremely helpful. You can use it as a checklist to run over your essay once you think you're done, and maybe point out something that you might have overlooked and didn't include. So for example, does the introduction contain an opening sentence designed to gain attention? Oh, you look at your essay, do you have it? Check, moving on. Does it contain a motivating sentence? Yep, check, moving on. And so on and so forth. You get the picture. It'll break it down for your introduction, your body, and your conclusion. And again, it's a resource that's there. It's provided for you. So it's there. Utilize it. You reap the benefits of it. We also provide additional online writing websites that you can access. Uh, Things that'll cover plagiarism, paraphrasing, um, style writing manual, and then other hyperlinks to websites and even videos that will be helpful in drafting your essays. All of that is right there. You can access it at any point in time while you have access to Blackboard. All you got to do is hit the writing resources right there on the left hand side. So I'm not going to touch on every single one of them tonight for time purposes, but at any point in time, I highly recommend you go in there, play around, discover all the things that are provided for you on Blackboard. And then the last thing for this section that I'm going to cover is how to view your grades. So as assignments become due, especially graded assignments, you'll be curious to see how you're doing. You click View My Grades on the left-hand side, and you'll be able to see all your grades right there, as well as when they're coming due. It'll go by week for your discussion board post, essays, and then it'll carry on into things that are graded in residence, but your quizzes are down here. So as per this, your quiz 1 is due no later than 0700 Eastern time on the 24th of July. So that's that right there. The last thing I'm going to do before I leave Blackboard and go back to the screen is something extremely important for this week. So if you haven't already done it, highly recommend you get it done before Friday at 0700. And that's the mandatory 6 steps that you're required to do for week 1. So you go to start here and you start reading and doing as directed. So the mandatory 6 steps that I'm talking about, the link are here, and it'll walk you step by step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these 6 steps have to be completed and done by 0700 this upcoming Friday, or else it'll result in disenrollment from the course for failing to complete these mandatory 6 steps. So again, if you haven't already done so, you get it done and check with your group mates, check with the rest of your classmates, and help them out, remind them, and that way we lose as few students as possible through this course. All right. All right, so that was navigating Blackboard. On to major assignments overview. Next, I'll go over some essays that you'll be required to write, talk a little bit about the Capstone Project, and then some one optional assignment that's on Blackboard that you can do. Okay, so for that, I'll go back to Blackboard and we'll get started. Okay, so I'll start with the major assignments. So on the left-hand side of the screen under weekly lessons, you'll see the tab titled Major Assignments. That's where you're going to want to go. Under this tab is where you're going to see all the essays and the Capstone Project that you're going to be required to complete during the course. So your first essay coming up due is your ethics essay. Okay, that'll be followed by your problem essay and your military heritage essay. Throughout the entire time, though, you'll have things to do in regards to the Capstone Project, and I'll touch on that here in a few minutes. But we'll start off with the first essay that you'll be required to write, and that's the ethics essay. So for every essay, for every assignment that we ask you to complete, there is a practical exercise that you're going to be required to follow. The practical exercise will give you all the details and instructions on how to complete that assignment. So your ethics essay practical exercise is right here. Pull it up, and it'll give you an introduction into the assignment, some information about it, and then we get to the important stuff, which is all the details and instructions on how to get it complete. One of the main reasons that students fail or receive failing grades on these essays is because they do not follow the practical exercise. Okay, so the practical exercise will tell you that you're going to utilize the three-part communications model. The practical exercise will not tell you how to write in three-part comms. It just tells you that you have to do it in three-part comms. All the lessons and assignments in week 1, that's the how-to of three-part comms. So it's very important that you grasp that concept so that you utilize it during your essays, because every single one of your essays and all your speeches in residence will be in three-part comms. So again, step 1, write it in accordance with three-part comms. It'll tell you to choose a case, not a chapter, from the Encyclopedia of Ethical Failure. And it tells you that each student in the group will have a different case. You as a student will provide it to your faculty advisor, and the faculty advisor will approve it. You develop an outline, and you will submit it to your faculty advisor as per his or her guidance. It tells you to utilize material provided in modules 201, all of these which can be found under the writing resources, as well as week 1 assignments. And then for the specifics of the essay, it'll tell you that this essay must be between 500 to 700 words, excluding the title and the reference page. Formatted in accordance with the APA Manual 6th edition. And then again, very specific, provide a reference page with a minimum of 2 references. Failure to read and abide by this practical exercise by not having a minimum of 2, well, those are easy points that you as the student, the writer, will be given away when your assignment's being graded, because it says it right there specifically, minimum of 2 references. And again, another black and white instruction is that the encyclopedia will be one of those references. So you have to know what the assignment's calling for so that you don't lose points. Okay. And then there's the similarity index. Every essay that you write, you'll be submitting through SafeAssign on Blackboard. Once you submit it through SafeAssign, SafeAssign itself will run it for a similarity check. And that's going to bounce it off all essays that have been submitted by previous students, not just to our institution, but other institutions, as well as run it through the internet, multiple websites and different sources, and check it to see if it's similar to anything else. And by similar, I mean plagiarism. So once it runs it through the system, it'll assign it a percentage of, a similarity percentage. For this particular essay, that similarity cannot exceed 30%. If it exceeds 30%, that's going to be a deduction of 31 points, which is a 69, and results in a failing grade right off the back. So very important that you properly paraphrase, cite, and stay as far away from plagiarism as do not plagiarize. It's against the student code of ethics. It's in the syllabus, and yeah, just not a good thing. So you can submit your essay into SafeAssign more than once. So write your essay. If it's a little too close for comfort, you can tweak, you can revise, you can modify your essay and resubmit it again. Now, one thing to caution you on for the similarity index is that if everybody if multiple, and by multiple I mean many people are submitting their assignments, uploading their essays, it can take SafeAssign over 24 hours to give you your similarity percentage. So if you want to know what your similarity percentage is before you submit it for a grade, I suggest you get started early and submit it during non-high traffic hours, if you know what I mean. That way you have a better chance of getting your similarity percentage sooner and in time to do something about it. Other specifics on this specific essay is, and all essays, is that the essays will be written in third person. Do not use first or second person. So stay away from words such as I, me, my, we, ours, let's, you, your, and keep it in third person. Words like he, she, they, them, his, and her. And these are things that can be checked by formatting your Word to flag for these things. So Dr. Bud Baker has a video that you see during week 1 in which he walks you through on how to set up your Word to catch for these things, and other things that can help you provide a better essay for a better grade. And then one of the most commonly made mistakes when writing the essays is that they do not stick with the main points required by the practical exercise. And then this last step right here tells you not only that the essay must be in 3-part comms, but that you must use the following main points and in this order. So your main point 1 must be background, and your main point 2 must be impact. So you will not add anything, you will not delete anything. The 2 things that you must talk about is the background of your case or scenario and the impact of it. And not only does it give you the background, but it tells you what to talk about in that main point. So again, practical exercise, every single essay will have it. Problem essay, practical exercise. Military heritage essay, practical exercise right there. And just like it did for the ethics essay, it'll give you your word count, page count, main points, and very similar things. Another thing for your essays is the outline. So for every essay, you'll draft an outline that'll help you get going on your essay, and then you'll submit it to your FA as per his or her guidance. So this is a good, excellent tool to use in drafting your essay, and it'll give you and your faculty advisor an opportunity to see what your essay will be lacking just by looking at this once you draft it, if you are missing something here. So download the document so that you can add to it, type into it, and then submit it to your FA as he or she requires. Now the group Capstone Project is something that the entire group, each individual group will have a different topic to write on, but just like the essay, there's a practical exercise that will guide you through the project, and it'll give you all the specifics on it. So there are 3 different milestones for this, which the 3rd milestone is completed once you're in residence and the group will present. So your milestone 1, and it explains it all in here, will be to draft an outline and a reference page. Milestone 2 is the drafting of an essay. And then again, milestone 3 is an in-house presentation that you will do once you're in-house. So your faculty advisor should be assigning you your topic here within the next week or so. and providing you guidance as to how to complete the Capstone Project. It's a very intensive project to do, requires a lot of communication amongst group members, and yeah, getting started early is always best, and definitely reaching out to your faculty advisor with questions or concerns that the group has is the way to go. One optional assignment that is uploaded in Blackboard is the drafting of a biography. So again, it's optional. You don't have to do it, but if you want to write your biography, you can utilize the practical exercise that's there for you. There's a sample biography, and then you can submit it to your faculty advisor for review, and it's something you can keep in your toolbox. I know some commanding officers, some command master chiefs, or command leadership asks at some point or another for a biography, especially usually during a change of command. So that's there for you as well. All right, so that's essays, the Capstone Project, and the optional assignment that's uploaded to Blackboard. Moving on to discussion board, we'll talk about weekly themes, discussion board basics, word count, and citing resources. And if Miss Lorna is still here, I will see if she can't.
Hi there, AC. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Greetings and aloha from California, everyone, and congratulations for being part of the SCA. AC made some very good points. So every week on discussion board, pay close attention to what the question is asking you. Okay, I know it seems very basic, but just like he advised you to read the instructions, the practical exercise instructions for your essays, read the questions thoroughly, okay? And if I can back up just a little bit, the key to the fun and success of this course is communication early and often. So we realize you've got operational commitments and duties, and you've got life going on. So just like AC mentioned, keep in close contact with your FAs, and I think you'll find that it'll go much smoother. So the discussion board basics, again, there is a word limit, just like there's a word limit for your essay. So be very careful and very thoughtful about what you're going to discuss with your fellow groupmates, okay? And anytime you can back up your opinion, your thought with some credible research or reference, you're in like Flint. That's money. And actually, the discussion board questions help you prepare for honing your skills for the essay. And three-part com, as AC mentioned, is the building block and foundation for the essays, and then later on your speeches. So be brief, be concise, and stick to the point. I know many of us have great experience, we get very passionate about certain topics, but again, the task at hand is to answer that question, okay? Just like when you're writing your essays, pay attention to that. One thing I'll throw in there, in terms of three-part com, it's a style, if you will, of writing and of communicating within the SCA. It's not to say that other styles are wrong or incorrect, but just bear in mind for the SCA curriculum, if you embrace three-part com early and be one with three-part com, your life will be much smoother and much easier, okay? Another thing when it comes to discussion board posts, and I might sound like a broken record, but AC alluded to it, all of the timelines will be on Eastern Standard Time, okay? So that's something to always be mindful of. We also reference all of the valuable resources that are within Blackboard. And if you read them and try to digest them, the videos, etc., don't be shy. to reach out not only to your military FA and contractor FA, but to your group mates, okay? Just like all your FAs have mentioned in their introductions, this is your mess, all right? So this is the ACA Class 208 mess within your group, and you guys can make magic happen. So that's a general, I guess, introduction to it. I know many of you have already navigated through Blackboard, but I can't overemphasize to reach out for help or clarification. Even if you think you understand, but you're not quite sure, it's cool to say, hey, you're tracking your goals and you can help your fellow group. Okay? AC, was there anything specific you wanted me to hit on, or you just want to wait for questions later on?
Yeah, that you pretty much hit everything that I'm about to just show them real quick. Word count, timelines, and things along the sort. And then, yeah, if you please, once we open it up for questions, if you can answer anything specific to it, please.
I'm sorry, AC. One thing I did forget is in this communication process, whether it's the essays or the speeches, remember, we've got a very diverse and valuable crowd of students. We've got different branches, different rates and MOSs, and our partners. And also, again, bear in mind who the audience is. Many of us, myself included, sometimes get comfortable, if you will, with talking with what I'm familiar with. So spread the wealth, and you'll be amazed at how much not only you learn, but what you can offer to the rest of the group mates and the FAs, because we learn as much and oftentimes even more than y'all do. Thanks, AC. I just wanted to throw that in real quick.
All right, thanks, DLC. So, so like DLC mentioned, word count, timelines, and everything. Again, everything is provided for you. So if you go to the Start Here button on Blackboard, which will be there throughout the time you're on Blackboard, if you look down towards the bottom, you'll see syllabus, rubrics, student handbook, and download course material. So once you click on that, there's a rubric for the discussion board post, which you can pull up, and it'll tell you everything you know about the discussion boards, the guidelines, the rubric, what your faculty advisor's role is, word limits, and it'll give you right there. So the discussion board post will be based on the readings or the material from that week, and you'll be required to provide one primary response and one secondary response to every required post. Some weeks may contain one question to answer or one topic to talk about. Other weeks you'll have two. So you'll just have to see what's there for that week and react accordingly. So your primary post tells you very clearly right there, 200 to 250 words. Secondary post or the responses, 50 to 100 words. And then it'll show you how you'll be graded for those posts. So 100 points total, 20, 40, 40. Like she said, if you don't meet the timelines, which it tells you right here, primary responses are due by Thursday of that week by 0700, and like she said, in Eastern time. So every week, whether you have one or two questions, the primary responses must be done by Thursday at 07, and then the secondary responses must be done by Sunday 0700 Eastern. Failure to abide by those times, well, you're going to start to lose points. The 5-point deducted for each post after the deadline. And then the mechanics. So I saw a couple little jokes right off the back about 3-part comms. Does everything have to be 3-part comms? Well, when it comes to discussion posts, it tells you right here on how the mechanics are going to be. Word count matters, grammar, spelling, APA guidelines are used when appropriate. Part of 3-part communications is not writing in third person. Not writing in first or second person for your essays. But if the discussion board asks you about your opinion or something about your life, well, then at that point it becomes, appropriate to use I, or when it happened to me, or things along those lines. But again, like Lorna DLC said, reach out to your FA if you have any questions about it. And then the content is another 40%. And that rubric like I showed you, you have access to. And just like we provide you the guidelines for your essays, well, we provide you the guidelines for the discussion board posts and tell you exactly how you'll be graded. Um, Writing rubric. So a little backtrack to the essays. Writing rubric will show you how your essay will be graded, how much each section matters, what you can lose points on, and all that's right there for you. So this is the rubric that your FA, your faculty advisor, will be using when he or she grades your essay, and it's right there for you. So like I mentioned before, similarity index, if it exceeds the max limit, well, that's minus 31 points. But back on track, and we'll be coming back here again in a couple minutes once we talk about the student handbook and things along those lines. But that was it for the discussion boards. Oh, and citing sources again, APA format when appropriate. So moving on. Keys to success: be open to the learning experience. We are a diverse class. We have foreign national students. We have students of other branches attending. For your faculty advisors, we have them from the various worlds within the Navy, aviation, submarine, surface, and we try and make it as learner friendly and helpful as possible. So we do it in many different ways, and we do it in whatever we feel, whatever we think or see that is beneficial to the student. So be open to it all. If you aren't too keen on something, well, bring it up to your faculty advisor and see if we can't tweak it. And I'll touch on that when we get to the surveys that you'll be completing through it. We are very receptive to feedback, and we are here for you. The Senior Enlisted Academy, as I'm sure you've heard, is for senior enlisted leaders by senior enlisted leaders. So we develop the curriculum, and we will do whatever we have to do to get it to you and any future students. So please help us help the fleet. As I mentioned before, read and follow the practical exercises. Very common and very frequent mistake made when drafting the essays or completing assignments is failing to follow the practical exercise. Please follow it, read it, review it, adhere to it, and save yourself some points. Pay attention to the deadlines. The first assignment of in each category that you'll complete, and by that I mean your first discussion board post, your first essay, your first quiz. They're feedback only. So there's no grade to it. You will not receive a grade on it. It's just simply feedback. The faculty advisor will tell you how you did, what you can do better, what to improve on, what you did really good at, things along those lines, in preparation for the first graded assignment in that area. Now, there is no passing or failing grade, but there is definitely a failure for not submitting it on time. So please, failing to submit an assignment by the deadline results in an automatic failure. And the student action matrix, which can be found in the syllabus, will outline what the steps are when it comes to failures. But bottom line, do not be late. And if there are instances or situations which will prevent you from meeting a deadline, communicate it to your faculty advisor. We can work through almost anything, but we can't work through something that we don't know about. So if you're having any issues, operational commitments, personal issues, bring it to your faculty advisor, work it out with him or her. And yeah, there's nothing we can do after the fact. So communicate early and often, as has been said already. And that's the next point. Communicate early and often. Lines of communication should go both ways, from the faculty advisor to you to your faculty advisor, and then also, and most importantly, amongst group members. So we can get through anything together. And as the cliche goes, united we stand, divided we fall. use your mess, use your classmates, your group mates. Start with your group mates. They're right there. They're on the same week, doing the same exercises, more than likely having the same questions or concerns. So help each other out, communicate. There's also other groups within class 08, 208. We have 9 different color groups. So in the whole class discussion tab on Blackboard, you can see the different groups. Hey, if you got some time, be nosy, go in there, click, look around, see who you know, and reach out to them, and utilize each other. Also, don't forget that we have many graduates of the SEA, so reach out to somebody that's graduated from the Senior Enlisted Academy recently and pick their brain. See what worked for them, what advice is there for them or for you, or what advice they can give you. And then finally for this is find and use an academic mentor. So on Blackboard, there is an academic mentor list, which contains, the academic mentor list contains students that have volunteered to be mentors. So all the students that chose to have their names added to this list have made themselves available to help out any student that reaches out to him or her. So some of these students have graduated very recently, class 201, 203, and some not so recently, class 85. And it tells you their name, branch of service, class, where they're at, emails. Some even provide their phone numbers, and then some notes about themselves. So if you don't have somebody that you can ask for guidance or help that has graduated the Senior Enlisted Academy recently, well, take a look at the list. It's right there for you. And you never know, you might recognize some names. And then upon your graduation of the Senior Enlisted Academy, we will ask you if you would like to have your name added to this list, and then you can be somebody that somebody can ask for help. So it's all there for you. So utilize each other, utilize the power of the mess. And that's the academic mentor list. And finally, good to know information, the student handbook, group shirts, legacy gifts, and class surveys. As I mentioned earlier, that I was going to go back to is again, start here, very popular, very useful button, syllabus rubrics, and then the student handbook. Student handbook was created by students, I believe, in class 198, which was mine, or at least tweaked by 198. But this is information that students felt would be useful to future students. And it's a very useful document, gives you history on Talmadge Hall, travel information for once you're getting ready for in residence, day 1, Senior Enlisted Academy chain of command, collateral duties, just very useful information. But it'll talk about the legacy gift, which is one of the topics on this good to know information. So the legacy gift, every class at the Senior Enlisted Academy has the option of leaving behind a legacy gift and have it presented to the Senior Enlisted Academy. It's totally optional, but all the details are there. One of the faculty advisors currently, Jeff Scobie, our Air Force faculty advisor, is the lead, and he'll be meeting up with the group legacy committee leads and going over all the details of it. But that's all the information is there for you. If you get curious, read it, but we'll definitely be talking about that once we get in residence. The other thing on that slide was about group shirts. So group T-shirts, as a group, you'll have the option of purchasing group shirts to wear during certain physical training events while in residence at the Senior Enlisted Academy. You'll wear it for the Buyers Cup, which is a friendly physical competition amongst the groups. Any time that the group goes in PTs as a group, So generally the group T-shirts are are of the color of the group. So green group will have a green shirt, orange shirt will have an orange shirt, and designed totally by the group. So there'll be an announcement that'll come out here in the next couple of weeks about it, and you can purchase those shirts from whatever T-shirt company you decide. But it's definitely something that every group does, and it just builds camaraderie around the group and shows the group spirit when it comes to those physical training events. Um, and then finally on that slide was the class surveys. So as I'm sure you've already seen the first survey for week 1, Dr. Bud Baker will be sending out surveys throughout the course, and then even still while you're in residence. And we ask for your honest feedback and opinion. We do tailor this course, and we strive to make it as learner friendly and tweak our ways to better serve the students and the fleet. So, and we do that by your feedback. So anything that you see, feel, or think that we can do better, please let us know, and we'll do what we can to change it. And on the flip side of that, if there's something we're doing really good, hey, give us that too. That way we know what to continue to do. So those surveys really do work. Um, we don't overlook anything, and they work. So again, when those surveys come due, please get them done and be honest and tell us really what you think. So on that note, like I mentioned earlier, Zach Montello, our lead FA, joined us, and he wants to put out a couple things. So Zach, you still there?
I am, AC. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, perfect. Hey, thanks everybody for coming. And AC, I'm starting to get a lot of questions on chat now towards the end, if you want to take over that while I talk.
Okay.
So, hey, first of all, there's 71 of you online out of 162, and I appreciate you taking the time to learn a little bit about the SCA before you actually get started. It will help you out in the end. So if you have a friend that's in this class and did not attend or was unable to attend, please pass along the information. So I'm going to talk about 6 things real quick, and they've all been touched on. I want to try to drive the point home. So I'm going to talk about week 1, day 5 requirements, or the 6 steps to getting started. 3-part communications, plagiarism, travel, communications, and using the team. So first of all, if you haven't already clicked on the getting started tab or get started tab and seen the 6 steps that are due by 0700 this Friday, week 1, day 5, please do that. Do it early. This is a non-optional 6 steps. If you are not complete with them by 0700 on Friday, you will be disenrolled from the SCA. So just to open your eyes to this, we do have about a 12% attrition rate. I expect that the 71 of you are not going to be in that 12% because you're all motivated to get through the SCA and you're here. But make sure you get those 6 steps done. So with 3-part communications, in my experience, the biggest thing that people try to do with 3-part communications is they overthink it. They try to make it too complicated. As you get into this lesson, just do what the lesson says. You don't have to overthink 3-part communications. It's very simple, and we make it that way. As AC touched on, it's just one method of communicating. There's many ways out there. We're trying to teach you a very simple one, which we use at the SCA. And then you're welcome to grow from that after you get through the SCA. With plagiarism, just don't do it. So as the SCA has grown, as you all know, it's now a requirement before you're eligible for E9. More and more people are coming through the SCA. And what I will tell you is, if you have a paper that was passed along to you by a previous student that's trying to help you out, that's great, but read it and then throw it away before you write your essay. I assure you, we have very good plagiarism checkers, and you will be caught. Plagiarism is not tolerable. It's 0 tolerance, and you will be disenrolled from the SCA if you are caught, and you will be caught. So I just want to make that clear. With regards to travel, I've already got questions from a few of you. Travel instructions, how to build your orders in DTS, the LOAs, all of that stuff, that'll be put out soon. It's generally around week 3. So there's a few of you that were trying to reserve rooms already, and I appreciate the motivation. Just all I can tell you is just hang out for a couple weeks until we get that information out to you, and then it'll be all clear. With communications, I did get a question in chat that I hadn't had a chance to answer yet from Alan. Appreciate the question, Alan. So with communications, I've heard from a lot of students, hey, I didn't understand. I was in college, I've been in college online, and there wasn't a lot of communication between the instructor and myself. I'm going to tell you to get that out of your head with regard to the SEA. We, the faculty advisors, are here to help you. We want to see all of you graduate. So communicate with us early and often. Alan asked specifically, hey, should I see communications from my FA or should I reach out to them? In the first week, until you're done with the week 1, day 5 requirements, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of communications from your FA. Week 2 is when that'll really start. But generally, the FA is going to put out general information to the whole group. They will provide you individualized feedback on your essays and on the discussion board. But if you're struggling and you need help, reach out to them. We don't know that you need help until you tell us. And then as soon as you tell us, I'm more than willing to help any of you. So communicate with us. And last but not least, AC said it, use your team. Your group is your Chiefs mess for the next 13 weeks. Get to know each other. I know it's a little odd being online and just using chat and GroupMe and emails and whatnot. But the closer you grow, Lamar, can you mute yourself?
Say again?
Can you mute yourself, please? I got a lot of background noise.
Okay.
Thank you. So anyway, as I was saying, the closer you grow, the easier it becomes when you arrive in Newport and you all see each other for the first time. It just makes it easier to get together as a team and move out and get this done. So again, I talked about week 1, day 5 requirements, 3-part communications, plagiarism, travel, communications, and using the team. I appreciate everybody being here. AC, thanks for doing this. And if y'all have any questions, well, I'll turn it back over to AC.
All right, thanks, Zach. And like Zach said, let us know what you need, and we'll help you out in any way that we can. One thing I didn't go over, if you do not know by now how to contact your faculty advisor, well, we have that information for you on Blackboard as well. So left-hand side where we've gone to for everything else, it's right there. There's a tab called Meet the Staff. You click on that, and they're listed right there in alphabetical order. So for my brother that was needing to change his email, Dr. Bud Baker can help you out as well as your FA. But there's a picture of them, email, phone numbers. The different FAs follow. There's me right there. Me, for example, I've provided my email address, secondary, work phone number, cell phone number, and then each one of us has our official bio posted there as well. So if you're curious to know who your FA is or a little bit about them, well, it's right there for you. So definitely reach out and we'll do what we can to help you out. Every single one of us have been students of the Senior Enlisted Academy ourselves. So we know what you're going through and what you're going to go through. Every single one of us was assigned to a squadron, ship, unit, just like you are. So we know the difficulties with it, and we're here to help you. We're not here to help anybody. Like Zach said, we want to make sure, we want to see everybody graduate. So please let us know how we can help you. Otherwise, we assume that everything's good to go, and we'll grade you on what you provide. So before I'll summarize the entire presentation now, and then I'll open it up for questions. So in summary, tonight I showed you how to navigate Blackboard and how to access certain things. I touched on a couple major assignments, and I showed you how to get to those major assignments and the importance of the practical exercises for each assignment. Ms. Lorna de la Cruz and myself talked about discussion boards. I showed you where the rubric was, which will give you the deadlines, word limits, and the mechanisms for the grades and all that good stuff. Showed you where that was. Shared with you a couple keys to success, and then talked about some good to know information, and which Zach joined us and provided some good to know information for week 1 and for the rest of the course. So that's it for the presentation. So at this point, I'll open it up for questions, and the best way to do it would be through the chat. That way we don't clog up traffic. So if you have any questions, we'll hang out and be more than happy to answer them for you.
Hey, AC, can you go back to Blackboard real quick?
Absolutely.
I saw one question from, I don't know if it's Jean or Jean, asking about color group, how to figure out what color group you're in.
Yep.
Can you show them on Blackboard where the color group is?
Yeah.
So down there on the left-hand side, you see my groups. You should have a group under there. For example, AC shows orange. Is it John or Jean?
It's John.
John, do you see that in your Blackboard? Do you see a color group there?
I'm not logging right now, but I'll check it later. But I see the little orange dot on it.
Okay.
There.
So if you don't see a group there, if anybody doesn't see a group there, please let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Postalclerk66@yahoo.com. AC, can you go to the discussion board questions for week 1?
Absolutely.
The question is, what are the primary and secondary response posts listed as due this week on the course calendar?
So right here, Postal Clerk 66, under your color group, you'll see Group Discussion Board. You'll click on that. This is the same area where, if you haven't already done so, you will do before Friday morning and post your student acknowledgement. So in this same area, you'll have your weekly discussion board post there. You click on the week that you're on, and then there's the two questions for week 1. So first question is, the thread title is why this is important to me. You'll click it, and then it'll give you the information you need to complete it that week. So for this specific one in the book, the non-commissioned officer, the author states that as members of the profession of arms, we share a common set of values. And then ultimately it ends in explain how taking this course is consistent with your own values. So once you're ready to answer that question, you'll hit reply and you'll type your answer. So this particular answer asks how this course is consistent with your own values. So answer it however you feel appropriate. And once you do, you'll hit submit and your post is done. Now, once other students start to post their answers, that's where your secondary response is. So throughout the week, go through, check on the thread and read everybody's answers. And then if you have something to say, reply to that student's post in the same manner. So after they type their answer, you click reply to their answer, and then you type your response to whatever they have. And that secondary response post, like we saw earlier, was 50 to 100 words, and that'll be that. By no means are you limited to commenting to only one student's post. Feel free to reply to as many as you would like to, but you must do at least one per question. And then you repeat that for the second question of the week. Now, like I mentioned before, some weeks only have one, others have two, so you'll just have to go by whatever that week has. And both, Martina, I believe you had a question. Both primary responses are due by Thursday at 07, and then both secondary responses will be due by Sunday. So whether you have 1 or 2 for the week, the deadlines are the same, Thursday mornings and Sunday mornings.
Except for week 1, right, AC?
Oh, correct. I'm sorry, week 1, yeah. Week 1, they're due on Sunday. All right, how do I get back?
And then I apologize if I botch anybody's names, but I believe it's Renona asked if submitting an outline is mandatory or just when the FA requests an outline. The outlines are mandatory, and you will actually use your outline whenever you come to Newport, because the essays that you write will be the basis for speeches that you give in residence, and you will use the outline in the preparation of those speeches. So.
Yeah. But Nona, you're in my group, so yeah, I'll be providing further guidance on your essays and feedback here in the next couple of days, and definitely before each essay is due. So again, your individual faculty advisor is the best and should be your primary source for information regarding the assignments due to that individual.
I think that's all the questions I see in the chat room, AC.
Yep.
Anybody else?
AC, this is DLC. I just wanted to add something real quick, please.
Yeah, please
Hi,
do.
DLC.
Hi there, Zach. What's up?
Nothing, man. Enjoying life in Newport.
Nice. Just something to remember in the discussion board and all the lessons that happen throughout weeks 1 through 8, they build upon each other and they're interlocked. So as you read your assignment and then you discuss with your group mates, it's okay to agree to disagree if you have points or perspectives that you want to challenge each other. And it's actually noted on the rubric. If you elevate the discussion and incorporate critical thinking skills, because a lot of this is communication, but the core of that communication is everything that leads to the Senior Enlisted Leadership course. So I just wanted to throw that in real quick. Bring your perspective, your questions to the discussion board, feedback, and I think you'll see how beneficial it is to everyone. Thanks, AC.
Yeah, no problem. And thanks for Zach for catching me on the week 1. As the week 1 checklist under weekly assignments points out, week 1 and week 1 only, as you'll see right there, your primary and secondary responses are both due on Sunday by 07, but that's only this week. Next week, we fall in line with the rubric, which is Thursdays and Sundays. So thanks for that catch, Zach.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, Corey, great question. Y'all are a unique class. You'll have an academic stand down July 3rd to the 16th. That does not mean that Blackboard is shut down. That doesn't mean that FAs are unreachable. It just means that all academic requirements go literally on a 2-week pause. So if I'm counting, I'm trying to do the math in my head right now, what week that is that it starts. But whatever week that it is that July 3rd starts, you will not be required to do anything. And then once the 16th hits, that's when the next week in your academic calendar starts. You're still welcome to do the assignments. We will allow FAs to go on leave, so communications might not be up to what they normally are, but generally all FAs will get back to you. I hope that answers that question.
All right, Jason has a question about where to go. The first topic is why this is important to me. What is the best approach to completing a secondary response? Well, as you read the other students' responses, you'll naturally come up with thoughts. You automatically come up with a thought of some sort. If it's a thought that you get from reading theirs that you feel is appropriate to type out, and that's what you do. Something as simple as, wow, I never thought of it in that way, or, um, I disagree with what you're saying, or I disagree with your post, things along those lines. Um, make it meaningful. Don't just give them that's a great response, I totally agree, and fill up the 50 word requirement. Just type out whatever it is that response made you think about. And I hope that helps you out, Jason.
And, and Jason, AC, I think said it. We're not expecting yes people from everybody. And you're asking specifically about the first topic, why this is important to me. As we're getting into this, it very well may be that some people believe that the only reason that this is important to them is because they want to be eligible for promotion to Mass Chief. And if you don't agree with that, feel free to say that. Remember that discussion boards, until you bring in references as facts, opinions are always right. So your opinion is equally as right as the next person. So as AC said, feel free to disagree respectfully and explain why.
Nicholas Smith has a question about, can he see the completion of his mandatory 6 steps on the View My Grades? No, you cannot. So the only grades you'll be able to see under View My Grades is the actual assignments. That there is no mandatory 6 steps under that tab, but by you seeing your post under that specific thread, that's it. If you can see the post, your FA can see the post. So
Yeah, AC, Nick Smith here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it was more or less along the lines of just following the completion piece, and kind of like what I put in there about it being a possible future thing put in the survey, where you're tracking your grades, you're tracking everything. Could there be just a completion piece at the top of the View My Grade tab, to where when you actually complete the 6 steps, there's no guessing by going back into the discussion board. You can just see it firsthand, so there's no concern of a response.
Got it. I see what you're saying. We can definitely bring it up to the staff. Thank you for the recommendation, and we'll definitely take it back to everybody tomorrow and see what everybody says about it. I mean, you got the lead FA on the line.
Got it written down. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we can make Blackboard do that, but we'll definitely look into it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any other questions from anybody? All right. Thank you for joining us, DLC. Mahalo.
Thank you, everybody. Mahalo.
All right, folks. Well, don't want to keep everybody in the line, so thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Senior Enlisted Academy. Welcome to Class 208. Look forward to meeting everybody when you make it in residence. And hey, we're here for you. So if you need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. And as soon as I end this, I will work on getting it converted to where I can upload it to YouTube. And here in the next day or so, you should see an announcement letting you know that it's uploaded to YouTube, and you'll be able to do whatever you need to do. So for those of your group mates that weren't able to make it tonight, reach out to them. Let them know what you learned or what you thought of it, and give them the heads up that they'll be able to access it on YouTube. And that's about it. So thanks for joining us. Take care of each other.